Greetings to you all. My name is Russ Hatfield. My twin soul's name is Karra, who is a member of Ashtar Command stationed on Hades base. We start off 2025 with one of the best sounding channeling sessions of any session in the archives. It was channeled by Mark Crocker, and it's called Mental Frequencies and Intergalactic Convoy Duty. Through a series of 6 speakers, we hear about a wide range of topics with no real central theme. A quick rundown of what was discussed would be Tia giving me a mission, Omal explains about the base being in 2 dimensions, Kiri on creating coercive frequencies, Wing Commander Taal on convoy duty, Karra helps me get her more into my head, and Lyka plans a wargame. Our sound engineers did an incredible job with a very distorted tape and brought it up to studio quality. The subjects above are just a taste of the excellent information passed on by the members of Ashtar Command. A more detailed description can be found at our homepage, hadesbasenews.com. We invite you to subscribe to be kept informed of future postings on our YouTube channel from the members of Ashtar Command. And now we present our latest entry into the Hades Base archives, Mental Frequencies and Intergalactic Convoy Duty.
Okay, who's this?
Bonnie Prince Charlie.
Yes, good.
It's assassination.
Actually, I believe Bonnie Prince Charlie died in... Oh, ask Mark. He's the expert.
1798.
In France, I believe.
France?
Yes. Ask Mark. He'll tell you all about Bonnie Prince Charlie.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Project A, thrown everything out the window because this needs direct attention. It was something that you would be able to work on with Karra and Alana in a healing communication capacity. Project A is going to be a problem that is occurring for a young lady that Mark knows, and I believe you've met her once.
Oh, what's her name?
Ronnie. Who is breaking into operancy. Now, first part should be, we should get Skip up here soon. As soon as possible.
Right.
And Ronnie, but Skip first, Ronnie second. So what we do is, next week, we will get Skip up here. Right, Mark's going to go down and see her on Saturday and sit down and work on helping her as best as he can. But somebody's got to be with her a fair bit of the time to help her. And I don't think Mark would have the time to go down every evening after work to sit with her and talk to teach her.
What about her flame then?
They're very close.
Is anything new operating?
He's late. He's interested, but he's late. And he's shy of it.
Was he there at that session?
Yes, he was. When Ronnie left, he left as well to comfort him. Okay, what happened was that the channeling session started. I came on, right? And because it was an unprotected area, there's a lot of leakage. This does a lot of protecting. But it doesn't matter because you're so used to the energy anyway. So what happened was that there was a lot of energy leakage, and she started breaking out in the sweat and starting to get the shakes, followed very quickly by a headache from the energy. So she got up and left, and her current boyfriend, or possibly husband, I believe, not too sure on that, got up and left with her to comfort her. So it's possible that he has latent healing, which would be useful because she also has healing, which she inherited from Skip. She also has a slight coercive ability, and also she's very in tune with possibilities that can occur, which makes her a what? No, clairvoyant. See the future, but only in a limited sense. She sees the possibilities of what are and what could be. She's quite a talent, actually. So most people don't have high shields. There were quite a few people in that room that started suffering from neck aches and headaches.
See, that's why Omal had his nine shields first.
Mm-hmm. that will be the first thing that you teach Skip to use for Ronnie to learn.
So why didn't Bethany stick around?
Well, Bethany's a flame. She's one of those misnomer things. When she tries to come up here for something, she succeeds from time to time. Let's say she tries 5 times right, and she gets up once. Okay. Now that will be Project A, which we will work on shortly. And also, you're a fool, Russ. You really want Mark to teach you how to fence.
And I believe it was Mark who initially brought up the whole subject of wishing to teach me to fence. I, in my infinite wisdom, decided that it wouldn't be a bad idea to learn a form of self-defense that I currently do not know. Where does the futile part come into this that you were mentioning so highly?
Because you told him not to hold back. Right. And if he decides not to hold back, the fight will be over, I estimate, in about 30 seconds. And Kiri agrees. Kiri has sparred against Mark, and she says he's good. When he doesn't hold back, he's good. Ask him to hold back, let him teach you the basic movements and work with you and spar with you, but going through a simple or a very slow training technique where you spar slowly.
Of course. I'd be glad to.
We have a visitor that's just arrived. And Kiri's filling her in on what was said in the challenge. And she's nodding profusely. She agrees with us.
I like that. I appreciate the concern also.
Lyka says that Mark has beaten her on a number of occasions. Mainly with the long thin ones.
I believe if let's see if I can self-analyze it, it would be our competitive spirit between ourselves that would lead me to offer such a challenge.
Mm-hmm. But the best bet would be to ask him to hold back, because once he's worked up, I don't know how his knees are going to hold up, but once he works up, after probably about 5 minutes, his reactions would be fast. It would be remembering the movements and everything and just speeding up his movements.
I think I'll take that for advice and consideration.
Well, you've seen him practice, haven't you?
Yeah.
On his own. You ought to watch him when he does. He doesn't do it very often, which is bad. He should do it more often. Okay, now then, questions. Oh yes, Project B. Now, stemming again from that channeling session, was a discussion between Mark and another gentleman called Mark, who worked at Area 51. I'm going to reignition. Restart that project.
Of course.
And would Friday night be convenient?
Yes, Friday. Fine.
Okay. Midnight?
Depending on my movie gets out.
Okay. Good. Good. Now, you're going to concentrate in that sub-name where the blast doors are. Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that is at Groom. Not Papoose. Okay. Now, questions.
I'm going to save for you till after it now.
Okay, and I'm sorry to be a bossy boots and laying down. Bump.
Oh, I'm quite used to it.
Okay, now, I will put on a mole. Okay. You sitting comfortably?
No, actually.
Well, sit comfortably.
You sit on the floor. Hard, tough floor. I let my butt get really sore.
You got this on small violin, and it's playing just for you. Greetings and felicitations for us, and how are we functioning? Yes, you know you are functioning within specified diameters.
No, I actually be honest, wasting my kilometers, and that's what the topic of tonight's conversation is all about.
Okay, let us proceed.
Alrighty. First off, prior to that, I was wondering a little bit about how does sixth dimension differ from fifth dimension, i.e., Hades to Sirius.
Okay, the laws of fifth dimension are the proverbial two cubes.
Right.
Which is bigger? Perception is the key.
Mm-hmm.
How do you travel from one side of the room to the other? Fifth dimension.
Well, see, what I mean is, when I'm on Hades base, I don't see differences between that and when I'm on Sirius.
That's because it is a working space within the fifth dimension, which has the same properties as the sixth dimension.
Oh, okay, that explains it. Okay, because by going back to this subject later on, but basically the sixth dimensional Earth that you were discussing last week, which we'll go back into again this week, would have the same properties as both Hades and Sirius.
Yes, right. There will be no difference between Sirius and its properties or Hades space being a working space within the fifth dimension that has the properties of the sixth dimension.
Okay, excellent. So we could actually say Hades is on the sixth dimension.
In essence, yes, although it is on the fifth.
Okay. Now, elevating the mind to rising consciousness is basically what I'm always striving for. What most humans try to strive for.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Now I'm practicing to separate individual thinking so that I can integrate into Karra's mind better. Now, while I do this practice, I wonder if you could tell me what is happening in my aura.
What is happening is your aura is changing its frequency and coloring, which matches Karra's. And that is because you are trying to get her mental frequency, so you are on a much tighter mode where you will hear Karra thinking and talking. That she would be able to talk to you much more directly and you talk to her much more directly. If you were to look at or stand Tia, Mark, and Kiri, the reason why I say that is Tia, Mark, Kiri, little joke, you would see that their auras are very close together.
And so that's even when he's down here.
Correct. That is why you can hear Tia giggling as she chases somebody around the room.
Now, here's what I don't understand, and maybe you can help me. This is Mark's mental set never seems to be different now than it was when I first met him. Does that mean that Kiri and Tia's mindset was similar to his at that point also?
Pretty much so. You have to remember that they are very close triplet souls.
Right. So why is it I'm having so much longer and harder to get to where Karra's in my mindset are similar?
Partly because Mark is an actual traveler that spends a much longer time in contact with.
I see. So basically, if I was to spend as much time with Karra, I'd be in the same position he is.
Correct.
Okay, so as it is, I have to work a little bit harder and continue on the way I'm going.
Right. You see, Mark is constantly subjected to, when he is here, telepathic barrage for Tia or Kiri,
Well, so am I.
and vice versa.
Right.
So that there is constantly, they chatter a lot on the internet, man. And when I say a lot, I do mean a lot.
Well, I guess you know.
Yes.
So basically, what I need to do is just be able to open up more as I've been practicing tonight.
Yes. And with them sleeping together in close proximity, I mean, their heads apparently frequently touch. So that you'll see Tia and Kiri with their heads close together and Mark with his head close together to theirs. And that helps also. If you could spend 16 hours a day with Karla, you would have that link as well.
I see. Due to the fact that they are in each other's aura more constantly than I would.
Correct.
Such for as example, where I'm in with Erica a lot. Her and I had a lot of the same mindsets.
Correct. But it wasn't always the way.
Right. I've changed more towards her and her towards me.
Correct.
Now, what are ways that I could improve this and figure out some self-monitoring techniques?
Instead of projecting emotions at Karra and possibilities in an emotional form, talk to her directly and listen. And by listening, you will actually hear her eventually.
We were practicing that tonight.
Yes. Tia is saying that, to paraphrase that, we three are experimenting with instantaneous thought at a higher speed ratio. For example, Tia is saying that when she thinks something, she is thinking it faster. So the Mark receives it faster. And he is trying to work on the same thing. Unfortunately, he's not quite as quick as we are. Meaning that,
Of course, yes. You'll get a good kick out of this when he hears it later on.
no, I think he's fully aware.
Okay, now for the self-monitoring technique.
Yes.
A way to do it.
Oh, yes. A self-monitoring technique would be to make mental notes of how you hear Karra. Is it partly emotion and partly her voice? Is it her voice? Or is it your own mind? If you hear, for example, Russ, that pen, and that piece of paper, go to the telephone and call Kiri and ask her questions. Or getting the feeling that you should pick up it. Right. You should pick up a piece of paper and not hearing the words. Make a mental note of the fact that you heard Karra say, pick up the pen, and then you got the feeling that you need to pick up paper.
That would be improvement. Okay.
Right.
Yes, good.
And gradually you will notice that it will be Karra saying, Rusfield, pick up the pen. I'm not very good at trying to
You're doing quite well, actually. Okay, I understand.
Mhm.
All right. Now, can this be made into a constant condition then? Like what Mark does?
Yes.
All the time?
I do not see why you shouldn't. Although Mark does not all the time, for the simple reason that some of the time he is up here, as well as being down there.
Right. It cuts him off from that. Whereas I would have the ability to do it all the time.
Correct, which would help you to accelerate to that level.
Okay, which is my next question
Which
is
would help you with your telepathy. And your next question being, where do you proceed from there?
no.
No?
Next question being, is this a prelude to sixth dimension?
It is something that is necessary. It's not 100% necessary, but it is a aid.
Because it feels like it would be a sixth dimensional sense. In other words, okay, it's two different modes of thought. In third dimensional thought, a person has anger, self-questioning,
Etc.
etc. Right. With this, it's much more clarity and peacefulness.
Yes. And a direct communication does bring to a higher level of consciousness. It is telepathy, although it is with your twin soul.
Right.
So
That's why you say it'll open up later on.
yeah, correct.
Oh, understand. And what did you say my next question was?
Where do you proceed from there?
Ah, yes, that's it. Right. Okay, that's a good question too, by the way. I should have thought of that myself.
where you proceed from there is being able to receive transmissions from other people on your dimension.
Okay.
It is a first step to telepathy.
I see. Okay. And this is, as we've discovered before in class, that people with closer soul nodes have better achievement.
Of course.
Telepathy, like myself.
Right.
Okay. Now then, how does this new mindset lend itself to metaconcert?
It speeds up the process. For example, if Mark, Kiri, and Tia are sitting down and they decide to go into metaconcert, it is almost instantaneous. They can mesh quite quickly.
Oh, I see.
And Kiri and Tia being quite good at telepathy up here can mesh with other minds and bring them in to a metaconcert.
Now, the question I have concerning specifically in metaconcert is, which position does it lend itself to more? All of them, or just a couple?
Enunciation is very important, but yes, it does lead to all positions, from the low secondary to the high executive.
Excellent. I would assume that the next step beyond that then would be to teaching.
No, to master it.
Master. Okay, right. Then after that, to teach it.
Right. But you also have to speak up because, as you rightly noted, sometimes your voice is not heard very well on the recordings.
Right. And it's funny because we're the same distance away.
Right, but I have a much better ability at projecting my voice.
True. If that's what you have.
Of course.
Okay, so the key here is to master it and get it down to where it's a constant.
Correct.
Okay. Would I be able to do this with other people on Hades base also, besides Karra, do you think?
At first, no. You may be able to do it with soul notes that are close, such as Alana. But at first, no.
Okay. Possibly my children then at other places.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes they will transmit on your frequency.
Oh.
It occurs with the Cubs and Alex and Leonides for Mark sometimes.
I mean, you get sounds of feeding frenzies, but
That's just an example.
I guess that would be an example. Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, before I go on to this next, let's see if I've got anything else in regards to this. Okay, yeah, let's go on to the next subject, which is on the new world that we were talking about, in which I'm going to be using some of this information for teaching. In fact, I already got a little practice the other day where the gentleman came here for a regression one time named Dan.
Mm-hmm.
We were discussing situation.
The gentleman with the addiction and some misconstrued beliefs that is overzealous. Zealous,
right? But it's a good practice for me.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, with this, I had a question on whether the initial shock of translation, what would stop people from sliding back into a third-dimensional mindset?
Nothing at all.
Oh, really? Okay. Is that due to the fact of being on a new world, one would naturally then just go ahead and accept the six-dimensional space around them?
No. I did not say that.
Right.
So there is nothing to stop them from sliding back.
Oh, I get it. Okay, nothing to stop them from sliding back.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So, right away I see problems arising.
Yes, you do. What would happen, for example, if people started to become very possessive, they would carry on living out their normal lifespan on the sixth dimension, and when they passed away, they would be reborn onto the third.
Well, wouldn't this have trouble? Oh, I see. Yes, it would have troubles for other people up there, but that would be up to them then. Oh my God!
Correct.
There it went again. The kitty.
You have a copy.
Oh, you saw it?
I did not see it. Tia was bouncing up and down and going. I won't. Ah, ain't it cute? Please proceed with the question.
Okay, with the problems then arising, it would be up to each of the individual people to then learn and not slide back themselves.
And how to handle it. Okay.
No,
This one is standard correct.
guys, gotcha. Yes. The problem that I came up with is the fact that when we first settled here on Earth, as far as people growing in, we developed weapons as soon as possible and kept improving them throughout the ages.
Yes, because it was necessary to deal with hostile enemies. And hostile enemies could also be construed as mankind.
Correct. Now, what I was wondering, will teachers be provided, or will that be strictly up to the people who are there to become their own teachers for everybody else?
There will be teachers provided, but they will be far superior in their abilities.
Okay. I assume that these teachers would be then from Hades base, or would they be from Earth? They're making the translation.
They will be guardians.
I see.
And who are the guardians?
Well, I'm gonna take a wild guess here. It's really a wild guess, but I would say the hybrids.
Correct.
And I was right.
That is the guardians. Take, for example, one of the guardians, or the parents of the guardians. Is he powerful?
No.
Almost certainly he is very powerful. And that is part of his function, is to teach the guardians and possibly be one himself.
I see. Okay.
Is he a super operative?
Oh, you mean Leonidas?
Correct.
Oh, of course. Him.
Yes, him.
I think in powerful strength, it's muscles and stuff. I'm going, they're just little kids.
Of sexual ability. But the mind that he has now is equal to a fully grown human adult. And a genius adult at that.
This was the gray area.
There are certain facts that can be discussed.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Now, what would be the people translating to that planet's initial reaction to these guardians? Would it be maybe awe, or would it be a fear?
Neither.
Oh, really?
Guardians will be trained.
Oh, I see.
Remember what I said last time. Tools will be supplied.
So that's why my genes are important in this also for the communication abilities.
Well, your genes are more important for a more humanoid look.
Oh, I see.
Don't feel too bad about this. It's very important.
I'll take your word for it.
What would you prefer? A 6'4" individual, or a 6'tall" individual that looks human? One that is slim and slender like your average Syrian, or one that is more human.
Human. More accessible.
Correct.
Understood.
Okay, let's just proceed.
Okay, next subject, and that is on to Plan B of Tia's agenda there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if you could please explain some of the benefits of knowing the details of Area 51.
It is necessary to be able to pass on the information for a warning on the technology that will come out of it.
Because I noticed there's various disadvantages, that being, of course, fear, caution, paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
So these benefits then would outweigh that. And would this information then be necessary to be gotten out within a foreseeable quick future, or
It's something we take your time about in releasing drips and drabs, but very cautiously from different locations. For example, a road trip with nice rubber gloves, and placing it in a receptacle somewhere like Salem or somewhere further away.
Okay.
San Francisco, Los Angeles, Seattle, Phoenix, New York,
Victor. Kingdom.
no. Those are places that we won't have residents. That is one place you cannot send them from.
Nice.
The same as Mark cannot send them from the Napa Valley or from Great Britain.
Try.
Correct.
Okay, well, that's all I have for now. Thank you, though.
Okay, and we have been working with Mark on his impersonations of Arnold Schwarzenegger. You might be interested to know.
Oh, good. That's great of you.
You'd have to ask Mark.
Oh.
Want to ask me if I have any questions?
Oh, okay. Do you have any questions?
No.
Well, that's how feedback.
Gonna pause the code.
Yeah. Find something to eat.
Okay, let's ask the questions. Okay, tell you what. We're gonna put air on.
Okay.
Yo! Hey!
A Kiri, baby.
Hey!
Hey.
Terrible shot. Okay. What do you want to know?
Well, I'm kitty watch, right?
Oh, okay. I'll keep my head facing out that way. And I will talk up so you guys that are hard of hearing can hear me.
Okay. No.
You're not looking that way, are you?
Come on.
Well, I was thinking that you've got tons of wood out there. Tons and tons of wood. Well, about a ton anyway. What's happening with your raised beds?
The greenhouse?
Yes, and the greenhouse, the raised beds and the greenhouses.
Well, we're carving out the things for them.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it by wood for the greenhouse?
Yes, but for the raised beds, you've got wood there, wood over there. You've got plenty of wood for it.
How many raised beds are we making now?
How many do you want? There isn't quite that much wood there.
Not that much room.
Okay. Your questions.
For Kiri, should I practice coercion once a day?
For us, what do you think?
I think it's not enough.
I think it's about right. Because what else are you practicing? Astral travel, healing.
Yeah, well, that's all basics.
Mm-hmm.
Coercion's one of those things where it's going to take a lot more work to get it good.
Depends on how long you practice. Once a day could be for 2-3 hours.
Well, I'm talking about coercing somebody.
Gonna try on him?
Mark?
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't get through shields.
You can when he's having a weak moment.
Yeah, but I don't want to take advantage of the girls. I need that to get girls.
Yeah, we take it. Yes, we take advantage of him all the time.
Right, so I mean, it wouldn't be fair for me to keep doing it also.
We use feminine coercion. You can't do that there.
Yeah, bring my feminine inside me.
Do you have one?
Do you have a male side?
Then I've never looked.
Yes, you do.
Do you know, I think talking to your cat's right.
It seems a little bit more calm and
Mm-hmm.
less consumed with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, we were going to practice coercion night. Are you ready to give me some tips,
Well,
techniques?
Okay. Techniques. Okay. I think the tape's about to run out in a few anyway. Technique number 1. Relax. Tip number 2, or technique number 2, is make full eye contact. For example, What are you thinking?
I have to hold this in my brain so that I can.
That is tip 1 right there. I have full eye contact with you, don't I?
You do now.
Yes. Can you break away? Takes a little bit of willpower, doesn't it?
No.
When you keep on looking back then.
Well, I'm trying to pay attention to you at the same time when you're talking. It's weird to ignore you while you're talking.
It's tip number 1. Tip number 2, sorry.
Keep people from being rude.
Correct. People are not rude very often. They will not look away. Mm-hmm. See, I have you in full contact.
Fine. I'll look down here. Can't contact anything.
Mm-hmm.
Any more techniques I should know about?
Yes. Tip number 3. Don't tell tip number 2.
Yeah, we
See, guys.
Oh, good. You want me to sit here and look at this all night long?
No, that was just an example, okay?
Okay.
See, it's easy to do. You make eye contact. It would be easier if I could open both eyes. You wouldn't be able to look away at all.
It'd be easier if you were down here.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, tip 1, relax.
Because if you're all tense and everything, the energy that you give off is nervous, jittery energy, which makes it difficult for tip number 2. Tip number 3, serious tip number 3. Learn tip 1 and 2 before doing anything else. That is the most important tip. Tip number 4, keep a level voice. Don't slide up and down the scale. Do I slide up and down the scale when I'm coercing?
You're really close to me. It's hard to say.
Do I slide up and down the scale when I'm coercing?
No, of course not. You should know that as well as I do.
Correct. But you have to say it.
Oh, yes, of course.
Of course I do slide up and down the scale.
Oh, no, you don't.
Thank you. Okay. That is the tips.
Okay, so why is it when someone is coercing you that it looks like waves on your shields?
That's because how it works.
So why do you see it?
Because it is like sound. Sound travels in waves.
So because this is voice as well as mind, it amplifies the waves that are coming from you.
Correct.
Which waves? Mind or sound? Or
Both.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
The way it works is it's like a radio.
Right.
Radio gives off waves, correct?
Right.
Your mind is the radio transmitter.
Mm-hmm.
And the waves come out into your mind,
Right.
which receives it.
Right.
That is the transmission.
Okay. Now, everyone has coercion built into them. It's part of your software that comes with your hardware package, right?
Correct.
Like that little analogy?
Yes.
Okay. Now then, does then the fact of using your brain and your voice together create a certain frequency that isn't there normally? Or is
Yes.
it just, oh, it does?
It creates a coercive frequency.
Okay.
On Sirius, it is called the coercive frequency.
And you can determine between regular frequencies and the coercive,
Correct.
which kind of takes all the fun away from it.
Not necessarily.
Well, when you walk into a party, everybody goes, "Oh, it's the coercive frequency girl."
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm known for. I'm known for 2 things. My coercive ability and my engineering.
What about that sexy bod?
That's secondary. How many Syrian women do you know that are not sexy?
Well, your grandmother wasn't all that big up to turn on.
That's different. That is age.
You asked, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
But how many Syrian women have you met that aren't sexy? Just the one.
Just
My
the one.
grandmother.
Yeah.
Please have more respect for her.
I'm joking, Kiri. God, Karra's laughing.
My grandmother and myself were very close.
Well, I know, but I mean, because of that, you should be able to enjoy a good joke as well as she can.
Why, you're insulting her.
I am not insulting her. She's not here to be insulted.
God, you're so gullible sometimes. You fall for everything but plain and simple. Okay. Now, where were we?
Okay, we were at, let's see, back on serious.
That was one of my things. Don't forget, I did pick up the trophy 2 years in a row straight.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what about Karra? Does she have any coercive abilities?
Funny and coercive abilities only.
Does she
Not an all-round coercive.
She's going coercive frequencies as much?
Just hopeless and coercive frequencies.
Because I know you help Mark out.
Oh, yes. A lot. Mm-hmm. I just give them little pointers from time to time.
Okay. So, to create the coercive frequency, steps 1, 2, and 3. It's still like you said. Alright. Where did that went through? Okay, so creating the coercive frequency has to become a natural extension of your own self.
Correct.
Because you can't sit there and think, okay, now I use my voice, I use my mind, put them together. It takes time.
Right.
Has to take practice.
Practice. Now, I'm going to hand over back to you because we have 1, 2, 3 more people that need to talk.
Oh, I got a joke real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Remember Ryan who came here before?
Mm-hmm.
Now then, I have the feeling that he's starting to backslide a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he backslides again, I get the feeling he might go as low as a flower. Now, what would his name be?
Petal.
Yeah. Ryan Carnation.
It's terrible. Okay. I'm gonna have to put on as he is getting fancy. And we'll do a joint ending tape.
Oh, there it is again. Okay.
So you just go with
All right.
Yes. Sit up.
Yeah, that caught my attention right away.
Greetings.
Greetings, Tom.
Mario.
All right. And how are you?
I am functioning fine.
Excellent.
First, have joke here.
Okay.
The other day, I shot the biggest mouse you have ever seen with my laser pistol. This thing was huge. However, I don't think they're going to let me back into Disneyland.
That's a good one. I like that.
I'm serious. Just kidding.
Thank you for your careful watchfulness on our trip.
Welcome. And I must thank Mark for his assistance recently. Research.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Guinea Pig.
Oh, yes. Instead of having a pilot taken off for duty or something, you got Mark.
Yes, Mr. Guinea Pig.
Did they throw him in the lake yet?
Yes, today.
You did. You didn't tell me how that went.
I hear he was not a happy individual. I think, yes, Kiri says he had nosebleed on deck.
I wonder you didn't mention it.
Not a happy experience. 600 feet down. 3 hours to come up. Sorry, 2.5 hours to come up.
You guys are really looking at the worst case possibilities there.
We have in the past had people rescued from 1,000 feet down.
Oh, really? The life support functions of the ship would be quite adequate, though, I take it.
Yes, but unfortunately, at that depth, vessel unflyable.
That's true.
Normally, when you land in water, you are in trouble.
No, we've had occasions where we've heard of underwater vehicles,
Correct.
USOs. And is that a particular kind that's designed for that?
Correct. Normally, they are lowered from a 3-man vessel.
Oh, nice. So they're not like dual rated for air and
No. They can fly in atmosphere, but not in space. They do not have the equipment for translations.
Oh, I see.
They have equipment for working in intense cold and pressure.
So depths of deep.
Up to 30,000 feet plus
Very nice trench.
to the bottom, like that.
Okay. Now is that something that you guys have to be concerned with?
No.
Good.
They are special assignments. News flash for you.
Far away.
Your friend has a confirmed kill.
Excellent. So that's his first thing?
Correct.
Well, on his way to getting up there in the ranks.
And how many more does he have to go before he gets as high as yours truly?
I'm guessing here 12 more?
A little high.
20?
No,
Not quite that.
I said little.
So around 15. Yeah, I was really close then.
Yes.
Alright, how is Katrina? I hear she comes by once in a while.
Right, she is fine and functioning.
Is she here tonight?
No.
Oh, usually in that pyramid section she's there.
Pyramid section? No, she is at home with little one. It is her turn to watch.
Ah, so, well, I hear you're off on another trip here pretty soon.
That is correct.
Long one?
Unfortunately,
That is 6 weeks, though, isn't it?
correct.
That's a long one.
Long convoy duties.
Oh,
It avoids order by rotation at the time boring. But because rotation, not so.
good. Well, being as you're guarding a convoy, has anything ever happened that you actually need to be there for?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
They get jumped once in a while?
Occasionally, yes.
That would be amazing. I wouldn't think that,
And normally through hostile parts of third dimensional space.
it reminds me of back in the 1940s when we had our big world war down here. And we had convoys going from America to Britain to supply the Allies. And the German U-boats would be out in the water looking to torpedo them.
Yes, I can see the similarities.
And they'd have these destroyer escorts that would be on wolfpack patrols. Wow, good. So you might get another kill out of this next combat.
That is where I have most of my kills.
Oh, really? So is it like a surprise attack
Yes.
in force?
Not necessarily in force.
I mean, it's not just like one-on-one kind of thing.
No.
Multiple on one, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Well, that's what it is an advantage for us sometimes. Because they're working as a pair and they have to back each other up, and you don't.
Not necessarily. Sometimes it is 6 of us against 1 of them.
Oh, I see. Well, that's not points for you.
What is fighter combat?
It's survival, right?
In its barest essence, it is murder.
That's true.
You shoot them down without being seen.
Well, I want you to answer me a question I had, and that was if you can translate between dimensions, and they're only limited to just third dimension, can you just suddenly, like, say, pop into third dimension right behind them or something?
You have to be careful doing that because it is not always constant reappearance. For example, third wheel, wink out to 4, wink back in instead of you being back here. You may be over there.
Well, I see it's tough to tell where you're going to pop back out.
Correct. Because it is a wide area. But time has elapsed.
Can't your computers account for that?
There are so many variables that the calculations are very high.
See. But if the computers could be calibrated to that,
That
gives
is
you
something that we work on.
Yeah. That'd be great for practice sessions, getting to where you can pop in and out at the same spot.
This is something we work on. In 100 tries, we may do it only twice or 3 times. Not acceptable for combat.
No, they're not even acceptable. That's suicidal. Well, you could lose a battle pretty big trying that.
Correct.
It's like a stealth fighter, though. If you could get that down to where it's 100 out of 100.
To be fair. No, but it would work.
Right.
Thank you. Dismiss.
Stand easy, Russ. Well, thank you. Here we go.
Hey. Right, I put on let me see. Yeah, okay. Why not tell you something? You meant not to tell everybody I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, but it wouldn't be fair to pretend like it's my memory.
You know why I bother sometimes.
Because you love me?
That's it. I'm going to cross my legs now. Let's start again.
All right.
Let's get down to business.
All right, we got a lot to work on here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Project A.
Yes.
Okay. The young lady. First of all, we have to get that dealing ability, operation.
Well, we could have her work on art.
Well, she needs to learn how to control the festival.
Well, sure, practice on you.
You know, what I'm saying. She has to understand the mechanics.
Oh, right. Well, we'll explain all that.
Yes.
Right.
Because if you get her to work on with somebody and she gets it wrong, do more harm than good. You know, she won't be able to heal skills because they're too close. But they can learn from each other by discussing techniques.
Yeah, but I always have these little cutscene videos on me. Yeah, but she can always help accelerate that.
But we've got to start off at the beginning. She is a total novice aboard the ship.
And that's the best.
We have to teach her healing cleanliness. Backing her hands, washing her hands, if necessary. Something we tried to remind you of in time.
Well, I got the last time.
Yeah, but what about trying to fall back?
A little bit of time, I'm a novice too here. You have to remember that. catching up quickly. Not quick enough for you, though. I'm happy over you. I love it. Yes, I'm trying to cooperate as much as possible on helping you accelerate with your one-on-one telepathy. Well, hey, we're working on it. Tonight was a great step forward, I'd say. I think so too. So, okay, now come on, down to business. Okay, so you're saying that you has willing to take. Okay, questions that I have for you. Okay, now let's work on this new mindset, shall we? Okay, because that's all I've got to really pay attention to, because that's where my main focus is going to be for the next however long it takes to get this perfect. So you'll have to bear with me, because I'm going to work on this constantly. All right. Now, the new mindset reminds me of being high. Okay. Now, you were in my mind a lot of those times, so you can see these similarities. But why is this so? Because it is using that higher function, which is spark. When the neurons fire across the synapses, it fires across the pleasure circuits, correct? Yeah, it does feel good. And what's happening as we succeed is that they're firing as a, hey, this is good, thank you. I just thought it was the way you always feel. Yeah, I always feel it. Well, that's what I mean. It seems like that's the way that you would be constantly. Okay. I'm sorry. You sure you don't have your coercion down to a T? No, I don't. Okay. Basically, I'll be working on getting it to where I can understand you now. What I need to do is have you help me the way that Omal mentioned. Yes, of course. You specifically say, Mister, pick up your pen. Okay, I would do so. Yeah, no, I mean, however you do it. I would try not to do it the way that it's normally done up here, which is, in the space of a second, I can transmit what I've just said. Right, which wouldn't do me any good at all. No. Whereas it might be a fleeting mind image to me. To Kiri or Alana or one of my texts, it would be understood and replied upon in that second. Not good to know. But actually, yeah. I mean, that's something. It takes a lot of practice. Right, but we have to start from scratch. So, like, we're going to start with Ronnie. You get to start with me. Cool. And quickly sidestepping, I agree totally with Kiri and Tia on fencing tomorrow. Oh, it would be fun. Right. But I'm not really into having to heal you every 5 minutes. So please, with restraint. With restraint, yes. Good. All right, now then. So in the future, what I'll do is I'll be mentally always pushing myself, to be ready to receive. And then I'll be listening for you to be specifically saying something in regards to what I'm doing next. Okay. The key is, even though you aren't a coercive person, I need you to hopefully be able to remind me to coerce at moments where I need to coerce. I'm going to give the answer that Mark gave Kiri the other day when he said that Kiri said to him that he had to coerce Ronnie to open up to talk to him. And Mark said he couldn't do that. And Kiri said it was necessary to do that. And he said even if he wanted to, he could not coerce that because of the restraint. And Kiri said that it was important that he coerced him. And he refused. You're not a full-on hardcore coercer, are you? No. You're going to like come one. As necessary, I'll be right there. Yeah. Yes, it is the moral dilemma. That's how I have that problem. And I can't coerce you for the same reason that Mark can coerce Ronnie. No, I don't want you to coerce me. No. All I want you to do is just remind me. I just need someone to say, hey, Russ, this would be a good time to coerce this person. And I'll do the work. I don't want you to. I just say it.
I will try.
All right.
I can't guarantee it.
Okay, all right. That's all I want. I just want, just a little hint or a reminder, and I'll do the work.
Oh yes, by the way, you have a mission now.
Oh, that's up.
You'll enjoy this
Really?
mission. Yes.
I practiced a lot of it. That was pretty successful.
Only practice again tonight with alarm. Yes, I know, I'm verboten.
I know, but still, I gotta work hard on what I'm working with Alana on. I'm not, I'm slacking. Well, it's not slacking. I'm trying to get the complete feeling of being there without falling asleep. All righty. Well, that's all I got. You said you got a bunch of people who still have to get on.
Well, we have one more person. How much tape do we have?
That's all? One more person? Oh, heck. Got about a good 15 minutes.
We can talk for this bit now. Okay. Now then, yes, we've been monitoring with interest Terrible Tucson. Mark's new problems.
Oh, okay.
And he's really jumpy about people probing and messing around with his knees, even though the pain can really get to him at times.
Well, we've been told off, haven't we? I mean, not I mean, told not to bother him.
Well, the fact that Mark is so nervous and jittery about having people probing around at his knees.
Who is, doctors?
I think Mark is scared of everybody when it comes to his knees. Or any part of his body.
That's weird, because it is me, boy. I'm jumping to get him worked on.
Mark is a very strange individual at times.
Okay, so how's his knees?
Apart from the fact that the pins and stuff are gone, they're pretty messed up.
And it's not because of the fact the pins are gone, too.
No, that was more of a help than anything else. Still not quite sure how we managed to do that, actually.
I thought we already figured that out.
Yeah, I know it's the extra travel I'm working on my head. But it shouldn't have dissolved them as rapidly as it did. Probably explains why he's been a little bit cranky. Yes, he has been cranky recently, hasn't he?
But see, this is where I'm really kind of like,
yes, to catch things that you miss.
no. Put that ahead, too. No, it's my crankiness I've been. It's like I've been in a permanent third-dimensional state that I can't work
This
out.
is something that we've been willing to discuss with you, actually.
Yeah, and I think the whole thing with tonight is a final just tired of it and wanting to just break out of that. So I think finally I just had to do something to get extreme to break into a more higher dimensional state, because it's third dimensional state.
That's part of the problem now. When it happens, you've got to go, okay, fair enough. So what? What am I going to do about it?
Well, that's why I did that tonight, so that now I have an answer for that. Good. You notice that, though, when I would be, like sliding into the game or getting, a set of people at the table next to me, I would then go ahead and just go back into that state and get out of it. Well, that's the answer, I think. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
See, I mean, because before now, what were my options? It used to be I'd go smoke a joint, or go hit a bong a couple times, and I'd be out for the next 4 hours.
Yeah.
But without that to me, it seems like, I finally gotten that out of my system or something, to where now I'm looking to find a replacement mentally to match that which I did physically.
Correct.
And I think this is going to be the trick.
Yes.
I just have to I
need to the pair of you being quite cranky recently.
Well, that's the frustration.
Yes, of course. But with Mark, I think it's the pain and frustration and work. He keeps on getting hung up at work and hung out to dry himself from at work for things that he did not do.
Well, we'll go ahead and I think you're going to see a nice change.
Oh, I hope so.
Well, if I can be more in tune with you, anything, I mean, that's the
Oh, of
biggest
course.
change I could think.
Yes. I've got to go. I'm getting poached. Yeah. I didn't say I was going. I said I've got to go. I'm being poached. I didn't say that I was going.
I want to finish my sentence.
Okay, go ahead. Finish your sentence.
Okay. When I used to get high, I'd be like with you closer. Okay. As far as mentally, and that was my big escape.
Okay.
Helped me, create that bond.
Okay. Unfortunately, you were deluding yourself because where does it go?
Right. It was a dead end.
Okay.
But the problem came in was with stopping it,
Okay.
I lost that bond.
Why?
Well, because of the fact that those synapses weren't firing properly.
Correct. No. They were firing as they should be. But they'd been taking the skin line away that would make them fire at an accelerated level.
Right.
Which in actual fact is an artificial level.
Then what is it I'm doing now? Naturally doing the same thing?
Correct.
Okay, so
After 2 years, we're now getting back the level they were when you were taking your habit, then you would have gone no higher. But now that you're free of it, there's only one way to go.
Right.
Okay. But I'm being patient here.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Joyce,
I got through with my conversation, and you can I don't have a free conscience.
Yeah, so I'll see if I can relate what it is.
Okay. Love you much.
Probably some fruitcake and rollerblades. And what? She goes with her bag. Oh, well, I suppose I better put in the last speaking.
Okay.
Okay.
Will I ask you my questions?
Yeah, you do. Sure. Let me put on this sweet voice. It should be quick.
Okay. It's all about you. Yeah, yes. Like, darling, how's yourself?
Begins with H.
Oh, well, that would explain it, yes. Good.
Don't know what comes after that.
Oh,
Okay. Let me get down to business. Battlefield strategy.
hey, yeah, that's right. We're going to work on that. Oh, I forgot. Itchy.
Now, unfortunately, I can't see it without pictures.
Well, we don't have anything set up down here to translate pictures.
No. But what I can do is... No, can't do that because I don't have the hand-eye coordination.
Well, didn't you get taught anything about that in school, about how to use pictures?
It's easy with pictures. And I could explain it to you until blue in the face and you would not understand.
Okay.
The reason being that you don't speak Syrian, do you?
Not very well, no.
There's your answer.
And I could go up there and I could spend as much time as I could, but I don't have my astral coordination down to understand it completely.
And here endeth the lesson.
I know you have a way around this.
I'll think of it.
I have faith.
Good evening.
So how's everything other than that?
You know, it's a very good.
Oh, how's that?
Do you know how to wargame?
Yeah, I'm working for it.
What we can do is Kiri pays you, and I give Kiri spectral moves. That way, we have the eye opening routine, and we have the hand-eye coordination, and we have my new strategy mind.
Excellent. What materials are getting for this?
Little toy soldiers, and agreed upon rules of engagement. A ruler, a table, with hits and miss and damage points.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Also, little scale soldiers.
Hold on, sweetheart.
Uh-huh.
Okay, a couple of years ago, my brother sent me this space age war game set,
Uh-huh.
and how it's got all the pieces and everything. They're, like little cardboard pieces that represent units of soldiers, with different arms, different battlefield things. It's got whole maps and everything all laid out, ready to go, different places. And I can get Mark to help set that up with me. He can go through and learn it with me, and then Kiri will know it because I'll do it in Kiri's with Mark.
Okay.
And then I could war game with Kiri then during a session, and you could coach it from there.
Uh-huh.
That'll work.
Okay.
Okay, we've got everything already. It's up.
Time's up.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Hello.
Now, down to my questions.
Okay. Well, I really already asked you the question I wanted to ask you.
Oh, okay.
But we may get to talk anyway during this whole thing. So just plain hype. But ring mysteries.
Yeah, sign.
Going back and forth so they don't just say hi. There's Lonigan.
No.
Okay.
Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat.
Hey, Doodle. That work?
I don't understand.
Doodle. And you're just sitting there and you're thinking of something and you're working on something. You draw little shapes and stuff on your notepad or something.
No, I don't have time.
Yeah.
No.
You can tell a lot by the person probably giggles. So I feel like,
Sorry, potty humor.
oh, okay. You've been a mother too long now.
Never too long. I do my parts.
I know.
They're great fun camping.
Now I heard about the new burrow they made for it.
Yes, that's supposed to help me. They've got on their own.
Did they? Well, that's good.
They love feeding rabbit. Mm-hmm. But not the big ones. They like feeding young rabbits. So tender. The big ones are, especially the ones high up in fact, as where we were, are bigger and tougher and stringier, and their ears are longer.
I understand.
What?
So, it looks like you've got some really nice hunters on your hands here.
Yes, they're my daughters.
You had them painted up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering about that. Did you do each one separately again?
Did each one a different design. Normally, what would happen if they were going to be priestesses in Hunt is that they would design their own. When they were older, normally start training when they're about 7.
Oh, you're really going early. So what about these other the London couple? How they going?
They're doing
That
fine.
one.
She's being careful and bedridden from the nose down.
She likes being pregnant.
Mm-hmm. She thinks it's great.
Do you know how many cubs are gonna have?
4.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And they'll be the normal size.
Yeah.
No problem there.
Normal size, no problem at all.
And so, how is the transition going?
They don't show any signs of occupancy.
How they go?
None at all.
Was that an expected thing?
Yes, it was expected that they would be more than. As they have me, and I don't show off my abilities. And lunatic,
Well, I've heard about the little incident
which little incident.
at the Minerva. Oh, Athena and Diana.
Yes.
That little incident.
Hey, they shouldn't get between two cubs when they're fighting.
Well, yeah, but if it happened down here, that's the first thing I'd do too.
Okay. Your species have not had retractable fingernails that come out that are razor sharp.
True. I'd walk into the suit of mailman.
Yes. But they can solve their problems and everything.
That's they've become fast friends again.
Yes.
That's that money concentration.
Well, that's very important. It's just that Diana thought, because she's the boss of the Metaverse, that she should be boss of the planet.
Yeah, they're pack rules, right?
Yes, there are pack rules. The pack
Yes.
rules are
Biggest and strongest.
the one that wins the fights is the boss. Doesn't matter if bigger or stronger. But in Athena's case, bigger and stronger and more stamina had the advantage. Quite frequently on home, it would be the smallest of the that would be the boss. Quicker, faster, more item. But Athena could take a lot more damage than I could have done for her age.
Did you get in a few fights there, James?
Oh, did I?
Who was the boss in your little group?
My big sister. Yeah, actually, she was famous. Oh. There was my brother. There was me. And then my little sister.
And she was just quicker and faster than
Mm-hmm.
you were?
Yes.
I can't believe you can quick and fast.
Oh, she was quite impressive.
And your brother didn't stand a chance either.
He was dominated by me and my little sister.
The poor guy. He'd have some serious psychological problems in this world. That
It's natural. Yeah, he was, it's natural for him to be dominated.
what's his name?
Good.
T. T and what your sister's name? What was your sister's name?
Sister's name? Oh, yes, sorry. I'm thinking.
Okay. No, that sounds like T.
That's T. T.
Like Tia.
Mm-hmm. Actually, my blonde name is Frank.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
great.
took a airplane to make it easier for you guys.
Oh,
And you go prick, 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 prick.
I am doing pre.
No, you're not putting enough emphasis on the middle. Prick, prick. See what I mean? You can't get your mouth for it.
Yes. I found out about getting the correct mind or frequencies. So, I didn't know about you, Mark. T. Kiri.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a great idea of ours is the time shift.
Yeah. So how's that going to work?
Careful.